Hello, and welcome to Managerial Accounting. I'm Professor Quinn, and part one of this orientation video, I'm going to show you how we're going to be using Blackboard throughout the semester. In part two, I'll be showing you how we're going to be using Cengage now. So the first thing that you're going to want to do to get started in the course is to log into Blackboard. When you log in, you will see the announcements page. Every week, I'll be posting an announcement that will have reminders of what is due that week. That also gets emailed directly to your NECC email address, so please make sure you're checking that email throughout the semester. The first thing that you're going to go into is the Read Me First section right here on the left-hand side. This section contains a lot of useful information about how we're going to be using Blackboard this semester. So, in the first section, it gives you some information about each link that you see. Overall, we're going to be using Blackboard more as an administrative tool throughout the semester. All of your homework, quizzes, and exams will be completed through Cengage now. But there are some useful resources that are in Blackboard that I want to point out to you. There's a link that is called Professor Quinn Example Videos. So if you're feeling a little stuck, you've never taken an online class before, you're missing kind of that face-to-face interaction that you normally have, you can come over right here to this link called Professor Quinn Example Videos. And what you will find are several videos per chapter about different topics that are going to be covered. So this is me through YouTube showing you how to properly solve certain exercises and problems that are similar to those that are in your textbook. Even if I'm not solving the exact question that you're working on, definitely jump in here and see if I'm covering that topic because I do walk you through how to do or solve that exercise. I give you some feedback about that exercise, some helpful hints that you might find useful while you're completing your homework assignments. Also back here in the Read Me First section, you'll also find that you will have 2 discussion board posts that are available to you throughout the entire semester. And again, the link to discussions is right over here on the left-hand side of the page. So the first discussion post that will be available to you throughout the semester is called Have a Question. So if you are sitting at your computer, it's 11 o'clock at night, you have checked your work through Cengage Now, you've watched the Show Me How videos and the Tell Me More videos in Cengage Now, you've watched the Professor Quinn example video, and you're still having some difficulty, you can actually post a question here. It can only be a homework question, not a quiz or test question. And maybe one of your classmates is working on that same homework assignment and is doing well with it and could help you out. I always ask that you still email me your question just in case somebody isn't available to answer your question. I want to make sure that you get the answer that you need. The other discussion post that is in there is what we call a piece of advice. So this is where throughout the semester you can post your best piece of advice with regards to this class. So maybe you're using a certain study tool that you found really useful. Maybe you've done the practice sets in Cengage Now that you found to be the reason why you aced the exam. Whatever that case may be, post that in there and share that with your classmates. So again, those discussion board posts are available here. And you'll notice the piece of advice one already has 18 posts in there. These 18 posts are from students that have already taken the course. So these are people that have survived managerial accounting and are posting their best piece of advice for you to be successful in this course. So make sure you get in here and take a look. Just so you know, I have disabled the email function in Blackboard because when you email through that Blackboard link, that email only lives in Blackboard. It doesn't actually get emailed to my inbox directly. And I like to get back to you as quickly as possible when you have a question. So you will not see the Blackboard email feature. So please just use my normal email address that is listed at the top of the syllabus. All of your grades for this semester will be posted under that My Grades link, again on the left-hand side. So there are 8 important tasks that you have to do in order to get started in this course. So first thing first, you want to make sure you watch both orientation videos so that you have a very clear understanding of how we're going to be using both Blackboard and Cengage now. You're going to want to read through the syllabus below. You also want to read and print out the calendar and the homework, quiz, and test schedule, as it has all of the due dates and times for every assignment, quiz, and test. Please keep in mind this is an accelerated course, so we are covering what we normally cover in a 16-week session in 8 weeks. So there's a lot of information to kind of keep up with. So in order to not fall behind, please make sure you print out that calendar and that schedule. Check off as you complete assignments, highlight certain things if you know you have something coming up you don't want to miss, like a quiz or a test, just to make sure that you stay on track throughout the semester. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to sign and date a syllabus agreement form that's below, and you're going to submit it to me through Blackboard. This is a graded homework assignment. You're then going to take the syllabus scavenger hunt quiz. So after you've read through all the syllabus, watch these videos, just to make sure you have a really solid understanding of all of the policies and procedures in the class, just so you don't miss anything. You're then going to introduce yourself to the class and respond to at least 2 of your classmates using the discussion link that's also below. Then you're going to go to the Cengage Now link on the left-hand side and get logged into our Cengage Now course. And please note that Cengage Now is required for the course, as again, that's where you're going to be completing all of your homework, quizzes, and exams. And then you're going to do the first very quick assignments, first 3 assignments in Cengage Now. So when you come down here, you have some very important information that you want to pay attention to. First thing is the syllabus. So at the very top of the syllabus, you are going to find all of my contact information. Again, please make sure you're using this email address to get in touch with me. I'm pretty good at getting back pretty quickly to everybody, but if for some reason you haven't heard from me in 24 hours, please reach back out. Sometimes if you've sent it by accident through a personal email address, it will get kicked into my spam folder and I haven't seen it. We're going to be using a book called Cornerstones of Managerial Accounting. It's the 6th edition, and you're going to be needing a Cengage Now access code. So you have some options in terms of purchasing the textbook. You can either purchase the packaged bundle through one of our bookstores, and that will come with the loose leaf version of the textbook as well as the Cengage Now access code. You can just purchase the Cengage Now access code at our bookstore, and that does come with a full ebook. Or you can buy the Cengage Now access code directly through the link that I'll be providing you in Blackboard, which I'll show you in a minute. If you've never used an ebook before and you're unsure if you're going to like it, Cengage Now also does offer you a free 21-day trial. So you can actually use the ebook, you can access all of our course material, you can complete assignments free for 21 days. If you want to try it out, you can do that as well. Please note that the requirement to be in this course is that you had to have a C, which is a 73 or better in Accounting 102. If you did not receive that, please make sure you withdraw from this class and re-register for an ACC 102 either this summer or in the fall. At the end of the add drop period, which is 1 week, anyone that does not meet that prerequisite is automatically dropped by the advising center, and then it would be too late for you to add another course this summer. So please make sure you do that if you have not received that C or better in Accounting 102. Again, emails, you're going to be using that email address that was provided to you at the top of the syllabus. I do read and respond to emails Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please do allow for 24 hours for your response. I try to get back to you as quickly as I can. Also, when you are emailing me, please use your NECC email account. That is how I'm going to be communicating with all of you throughout the semester. And this does prevent it from going into my spam folder and me not seeing your email. So please make sure you're doing that. In terms of grading, 20% of your grade is going to be the homework assignments that you're going to have. Your homework assignments, there's actually 2 different types of homework assignments. One that's called a lecture assignment, and the second that's called a homework assignment. So the lecture assignments, you have 2 attempts on the lecture assignments. And what these lecture assignments are very short videos that are giving you an overall point of view of a certain learning objective or a few learning objectives for that chapter. The homework assignments, which you have 3 attempts on, are actually practicing or applying those learning objectives. So you'll see kind of the chapters broken down between those lecture assignments and homework assignments. Sometimes you'll have multiple lecture assignments and multiple homework assignments per chapter. The reason why that I have done that is I've broken down the chapter into learning objectives that fit well together. So for example, a chapter might have 7 learning objectives, and I might say that the first 4 really fit well together. So in your first lecture assignment, you're going to watch 4 videos on those first 4 learning objectives. And then your first homework assignment is only going to be covering those first 4 learning objectives. Then your second lecture video for that chapter will cover the remaining 3 learning objectives, and your second homework assignment will then cover and apply those 3 learning objectives. So you'll see that in that detailed schedule that I have for you. The key thing that you need to pay attention to is that you need to have an overall score for every single homework assignment of a 72.5% or better in order to move on to the next homework assignment. So for example, if you got a 65 on your first attempt on the Chapter 2 lecture video assignment, you would have to retake that in order to get to the 72.5% or better that you would need to then open that first homework assignment. If in the first attempt you got an 80, you would automatically be able to get into the next homework assignment. But if you were unhappy with the 80 and wanted to try it again, you have the option to do that as well. The highest grade you receive for each assignment will count as your grade for this course. However, please note that only attempts that are taken and submitted by the due date and time will count towards your final grade. So remember, this is a fully online course, so doing your homework is truly essential in order for you to learn the material. So please take advantage of having those lecture assignments available to you. Again, it acts a little bit like a face-to-face lecture that you would normally get in a face-to-face course. Any assignment that you submit late or have not asked for an extension on, you will not receive credit for. However, you'll still have to complete the assignment with the required 72.5% or better in order to move on to the next homework assignment. It's very easy to fall behind in this class quickly, especially in this accelerated format. So again, please make sure you're utilizing those wonderful resources that I've provided to you of the printable calendar and the detailed schedule to keep yourself on track. I know it's your responsibility to manage your time properly to make sure that all assignments are submitted on time, but I do know that things can come up and it's easy to miss an assignment. So I allow each student an extension on 2 homework assignments. Please note that this does not apply to quizzes or tests. In order to receive the extension, you must email me prior to the due date and time of the assignment, and you'll be automatically given a 24-hour extension. So use those wisely as you're going out throughout the semester. You will have 3 quizzes this semester, and those 3 quizzes combined count as 10% of your grade. You're allowed to take each quiz twice, and the higher of the 2 grades will count towards your final grade. Once you've taken your first attempt on that first quiz, once you've submitted it in Cengage, it will immediately grade it for you, so you'll know what your grade was. You can open that attempt up and see which questions you got incorrect. You will not see the correct answers at that time, but you can see what you've done incorrectly. Take this opportunity to go back through your homework, through the lecture videos, to really see what the correct answer should have been for those items that you got incorrect. When you take it for the second time, the questions will not be exactly the same as the first, but now you will be covering the same material and you should have a better understanding of how to solve those questions that you had incorrect on your first attempt. You'll also have 5 tests this semester, which in total will count as 70% of your grade. Test number 1, which comes up pretty quickly, is only on Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a lot of new terminology that we're going to be talking about in managerial accounting. Managerial accounting is a very different approach than financial accounting, which is what you're used to in Accounting 101 and 102. Financial accounting really focuses on external reporting, things like your financial statements and journal entries. Managerial accounting is very much focused on internal reporting, so what companies use to make decisions for their business. So Chapter 2 is going to be talking about terminology a lot and some little bit of application. So I really want to make sure we have a strong understanding of that terminology before we move on, because those terms are going to be something we're going to be using throughout the entire semester. Then your remaining 4 tests, your lowest test out of those remaining 4, so tests 2 through 5, will count as 10% of your grade. The highest out of those remaining 4 will count as 20% of your grade, and the 2 in the middle will count for 15% each. Just a note regarding this course, there is a NECC policy in terms of credit hours. And regardless of the delivery method, meaning whether it's a traditional face-to-face, online, or hybrid course, and regardless of the length of the term, so either it's a 16-week or an 8-week course like ours is, it requires there be equivalent of 50 minutes of instruction per week and a minimum of 2 hours of out-of-class student work per credit hour. So that means for a class like ours, that's 3 credits, there is a requirement by the college that there be a minimum of 6 hours per week of non-instructional work for students. So please make sure you're budgeting your time appropriately, because for an online class, that means there's approximately 7 hours of at-home work required per week for this course. There are no extra credit assignments given in this course, so really take the opportunity to retake your lecture assignments or retake your homework assignments and make that 20% of your grade as strong as possible. Makeup tests are generally not given out of fairness for everybody else who has prepared to take the tests on the scheduled date. However, if there is a situation that is preventing you from taking the exam on the set date, it is in your best interest to get in touch with me as soon as possible. Please do not wait days or weeks to get in touch with me, as it will then be too late for a makeup exam to be considered. Each chapter of the material does build on the previous chapter, so if you're having trouble understanding the concepts, please get in touch with me as soon as possible. Take advantage of those videos that are on Blackboard, my Professor Quinn example videos, and the many resources that are available to you in Cengage Now, which I will be going over in part 2 of this video. Again, here you'll also find that printable calendar, which shows when every set of assignments are due. So basically you're going to be covering a chapter a week. So we're covering 8 chapters in 8 weeks. So please pay attention to those due dates. You'll notice that the due dates are on the weekends, because I know a lot of you work during the week in the summer, but it allows you the opportunity to find the best time and date during the week that works best for you to actually work on these assignments. There's also that very detailed homework, quiz, and test schedule. This is also printable. There's some reminders up here at top. Make sure you read through those. But you'll notice that the date available for all of the homework assignments are available to you today, which is Friday, June 16th. So you do have the ability to get ahead in this course. So if you know you have a busy schedule coming up for work or family or a vacation coming up, you can get ahead. So as long as you complete each one of these assignments in the order shown, the minute that you complete, for example, the Chapter 2 lecture assignment part 1 with a 72.5 or better, the next one, which is the Chapter 2 homework assignment part 1, will become available to you. You'll also see when all the due dates are, the number of attempts that are allowed, and whether or not you need to receive a minimum grade. Once you've gone through all of this information, you will click right here where it says Syllabus Agreement Doc. This is a Word document. You will open it, type in your name and the date, save it to somewhere on your computer, And then here on this blue syllabus agreement form link, you will upload that syllabus agreement form to me. You'll then take the syllabus scavenger hunt quiz, and here you will introduce yourself to the class. Again, please don't forget to respond to at least 2 of your classmates' introductions. And then finally over here, you're going to click on that Cengage Now link, and you're going to get registered into our course. I know that many of you have used Cengage Now in your Accounting 101 or 102 course. So when you click on this link and it asks you to log in, you will log in using your existing Cengage Now information. So your same email address that you've used previously to log in and your same password. If you've never used Cengage Now before, you will just create a new password and login. Once you log in, which again you'll see here, it will then give you those 3 options that you have. So your first option is to enter an access code that you either purchased as a bundle with your textbook at the bookstore, or if you've purchased just the access code at the bookstore, that's when you'll enter it. It will give you the option to purchase a Cengage Now access code directly through this link. Again, it comes with a full ebook, and you have access to all the study materials and all of the assignments in the course by just having the access code. Or again, you can use that free 21-day trial if you want to try things out first to see how you like that ebook. So that's the end of our first orientation video. The second orientation video is going to go through how we're going to be using Cengage Now this semester.